Welcome to Let's Talk Learning Disabilities with Laurie Peterson. Laurie spends her days talking about dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and ADHD. She talks to students and adults who have had a lifetime of academic challenges. She's here to share their stories along with other insights with you. So let's talk learning disabilities.
Hey everybody, this is Laurie and welcome to a very special episode of Let's Talk Learning Disabilities. So today we are in sunny Orlando, Florida, and we are here for the Learning Disability Association annual conference. And as you know, we've done some of these before in the past where we've been at a conference, and every time we come, we meet some of the most amazing people. So today, I'm going to introduce you to some of those amazing people and let you hear a little bit about some of the things we're learning about. And then a couple of these people you'll probably hear on future episodes where we can dig in a little bit deeper. But today I thought you'd kind of enjoy just a preview. So enjoy a little sampling of what we got to do today in Orlando. Okay, so the first person I want you guys to meet today is Brody Glidden. He is from Beacon College, and this is a school that I have heard of, but wasn't very familiar with. So, Brody, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, of course.
And tell us a little bit about Beacon and what makes it special and the kind of programs you guys have there.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Laurie. So Beacon College is the South's first accredited institution exclusively for students with learning differences.
Oh, wow.
So all 525 of our on-campus students have a diagnosed learning difference around ADHD, ASD, or specific learning differences around writing, reading, or math. So you're dyslexic, you're dysgraphia, you're dyscalculia, all of those students. So all 525 of our students fall in that realm of learning differences.
That is so awesome. So tell me a little bit about what makes Beacon special, other than that, obviously, because that is already pretty special. But how do you guys, what's different and how do you adapt and how do you accommodate those kids that's just kind of built into your system?
For sure. No, so this is our 35th year.
Oh, wow.
So Beacon has been around for 35 years, and while there's tons of learning support programs at all of these colleges now, we're a little selfish in saying that we've been doing this work for a very long time. So we've grown from 30 students 35 years ago to 525. But what has really increased the population or the amount of students that we have is our Center for College Readiness. So in 2018, we founded our Center for College Readiness, where we work with thousands of students across the country that aren't only going to Beacon, but are also going to any college and just need a little bit more support. So within our Center for College Readiness, we have both virtual programming as well as summer on-campus programs. Our student population, they need to see things and feel things and hear things, right? They need to use all their senses, and what better way to do it than providing opportunities to go through the actions and the rotations of what going to college is actually going to be like.
It's like dipping their toe in the water.
Yes, exactly. No, I think it's really big is actually putting your hands on it. It's very important. Yeah. It's just like all of our classes, all of our courses and our majors have a hands-on component. So our anthrozoology program, we have over 35 species of animals that are in our lab, which is really cool. Within the Center for College Readiness, again, we have both virtual and on campus. Our virtual programming is all one-on-one and individualized. So it's about the skill identification, skill building, skill awareness, and then how do you take these skills that you've developed with your transition counselor and actually put them into play.
And we're talking like executive functioning.
Oh, executive
not like reading, writing, math, but
Yes. So that's a really great point, is that our center originally was not academic focused at all. It was all about the executive functioning and the transitioning to the environment. After a lot of families, and again, our virtual programming is very family oriented, so it involves both one-on-one sessions, half hour and hour long, and then family sessions as well. So we're getting the parents involved. We believe in the family dynamic and family centered. Our students need that support both at home and at college in order to be successful. So they do family sessions, they do individual sessions, and then we also add monthly socials into that too. So they get to meet all of these students from across the country and world. We have students that are in other countries as well doing this program. So that's Navigator Prep. And that was the country's first virtual college readiness program for neurodiverse learners. which is really incredible, and that has grown tremendously. Part of that now is Introduction to College Academics. It's embedded into it. So what we were getting a lot of feedback is like, this is great, my students prepared to go to college and like experience the environment, manage their time, their emotions, all of those. But now we're worried about academics and being prepared academically. So we created our Introduction to College Academics courses. And that changes every single year. I actually did the first one in, oh my gosh, probably 2022. I did Introduction to College Writing. And so I created a 6-week virtual program, no credit, no GPA, which I think is important to focus is that all of our Center for College Readiness programs are low risk, high reward. So it's very minimal cost. There's no credit, there's no GPA, and they're just getting the exposure to what it's going to be like in college.
Perfect.
So that's Navigator Prep and Introduction to College Academics. Navigator Prep has a lot of different variations. So there's sophomore, junior, senior, and that's a 4-month program that they can do in the fall and the spring. And then we also have Navigator Prep College Coaching. So again, we have 525 students. There's a lot more than 525 neurodiverse learners out there that are going to other colleges that have great supports, but they might need an external executive functioning coach. And that's what our college coaching does. And there's lots of variations. You can do weekly meetings, bi-weekly. We can do site visits. So actually going to the campus with the student and putting our feet there, walking them around, showing them that type of stuff.
For your kids that are coming to school there, what's your typical class size?
Yeah, so we max at 15, but we're really shooting for 12 students in a class.
That's awesome.
Yes, so lots of sections offered, and our faculty are incredible because they're teaching so many sections because we want to keep that classroom size really small and individualized.
And would you say the majority of the faculty has some background or training in learning disabilities or neurodiversity? Yeah,
so every faculty member has a terminal degree in their focus of study, as well as some type of training or certification in working with neurodiverse learners. We also have a professional certificate now at Beacon for educators and families that have neurodiverse students. And so it's all about it's an 8-week online module that has a cumulative capstone project at the conclusion. That you then get an awesome certificate signed by our president and from our Center for College Readiness.
And so when is the deadline for applications and all that stuff?
Yeah, so we're rolling admission process.
Oh, nice.
So we open up our applications for the next fall in the August. So for fall 2025, we opened it up in August 2024. We're rolling admission. So on a given year, we're bringing in anywhere from 140 to 160 students. We're really excited. We're blowing up the records, which is exciting. We're already over halfway full for this upcoming year. We do have a March 1st priority registration for single housing option. So 95% of our first year students have their own bedroom, and we're suite style, right? The transition to college is already difficult enough. Let's throw in living with a roommate, a stranger that you have no idea about. They need their own space. And so the intentional design at the college with the single housing is really important.
That is awesome. So you can apply up until the start, really.
On move-in day. This last spring, we had somebody that applied, got admitted, and enrolled on orientation day.
I love
on
that.
move-in day. The other piece of the Center for College Readiness is our on-campus summer programs, which I think is really, really big. And it kind of goes hand in hand with our virtual. So virtual is that one-on-one, individualized, whereas our summer programs are group-oriented. So students come to campus. They are there for, depending on which program, either 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and they're going through all aspects of college. Academic classes, independent living, social pragmatics, both structured and unstructured, and we're having a heck of a good time at the same time.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. I think that exposure is so important. It's so important in these kids because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and what we were talking about earlier is like they see on the news college, they see in movies college, they hear from their college counselor college, and all three of those are different types of college. So in order for them to know, am I college ready? Am I college capable? Which are two very different things. I need to know what college is going to be like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day today.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we'll have Brody back for an episode later because this fascinates me and I find it very important having children of my own at that age, but also with all the students that we work with. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Laurie.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, everybody, I am back with Krista Weltner, who is an illustrator and an author. And She has some amazing books about dyslexia. So thank you for being here and taking a few minutes out of your day to chat with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So can you just tell us a little bit about you and sort of how you landed in this position and role in being an author and an illustrator?
Sure. Well, like we're saying, I'm an author and illustrator, but I'm also a dyslexia advocate, and I'm a dyslexic adult. I struggled a lot as a child with the social aspect of dyslexia and feeling different and very isolated, having a lot of anxiety issues from that as well. And so, yes, I have a picture book series inspired by some of my own experiences, but also some of the things that I feel the community also needs. So it's 3 picture books, and the series title is Everyday Adventures with Molly and Dyslexia.
I love that. So going back to when you were a child, what age were you diagnosed? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was 7 years old, so about 2nd grade in the 90s. So I received all the extra help that I could have wanted at the time. I had after-school tutoring. I was pulled out of class for individual instruction. My mother's also an educator, so she was working with me on the side. But I did struggle a lot socially and, like I said, having a lot of anxiety and just
absolutely.
feeling very different and isolated.
Absolutely. And so your books speak to that.
Yes. My books are not about what dyslexia is, rather they're about how dyslexia feels. My main characters, Molly and Lexi, are the stars of the show. Molly is our human child who is dyslexic, like myself, and I see a lot of myself in her. But she also has an imaginary friend named Lexi, who is sort of the personification of dyslexia. So the series really explores our relationship to our dyslexia and helps promote conversations with teachers and students about it.
How do you bring dyslexia to life as a person, or in a personified?
Yeah, well, she's a little, I think of her as like a little cloud of mixed up alphabet letters, but some people see the illustration and think she's a brain. So that's okay too, because art's up for interpretation. But prior to writing my series, I imagined this world where all children have a little imaginary friend that represents their learning difference or disability. And so I talked with a lot of adults and children about what they thought their disability might look like if it was personified. So I incorporated some of those ideas. Actually, in the second book in the series, a new character is introduced named Leanne. Leanne's also dyslexic, and her imaginary friend is named Izzy, and Izzy is also dyslexia, but she looks different than Molly's dyslexia because everybody's learning difference is unique to the child.
I love that. And I think, doesn't it also kind of represent that inner dialogue that you sometimes have as an individual with a learning difference or a neurodiversity, like that, what you're kind of saying to yourself sometimes too?
Yes, definitely. Molly is always kind of debating with Lexi about what they should do in the classroom. You know, in the first book, she is struggling just to raise her hand and ask for help. So the first book is all about learning how to self-advocate. And of course, Lexi is encouraging of advocacy and helping Molly to get over that emotional hurdle. And in the second book, she is struggling with the idea of whether or not to introduce Lexi to her classmates and thereby make her visible. Lexi, of course, really wants to be visible. And this was actually my favorite part of the series, was the opportunity to show that we don't always get along with our learning disabilities.
Unfortunately. Do you have any plans for any upcoming books, or what's in the works?
Yeah, I hope to do more of Molly and Lexi, but nothing in the works yet. That's kind of up to my publisher to see. We need to know how well it's going to do. They've only been out for a year.
Oh, wow.
But I'm also working on some other projects. Right now, I'm really excited about a search and find activity book that I'm working on for like a book pitch, and I'm working on a graphic novel pitch that's like a adaptation of Snow White.
Oh,
and what else do I have? Another picture book that's more comedic and is just for entertainment, and it's about a lizard who loses its tail, but it's told from the tail's perspective.
Oh, cute.
So it's kind of absurd. I'm not really sure if we're going to find a home for that one because it's a little bit
off the wall.
Off the wall, yes.
I like the graphic novel idea because so many of our dyslexic students, they are drawn to those.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love graphic novels now as an adult. I read them, and because I'm a fan of the illustration and artistry that's been going on the last couple of years in children's literature, I read a lot of that. Yeah, I love graphic novels.
So if someone is interested in purchasing one of your books, where do they find them?
Yeah, thanks. They can find them, I say they're available anywhere books are sold. You can order through your favorite local bookshop, but I can't guarantee they're going to be on the shelf. They're also on Amazon and bookshop.org. If you're working with the school district, if you're purchasing in bulk, say, that going directly to my publisher for help with that would be the way to go because they offer discounts and stuff.
And tell me again who the publisher is.
So it's Free Spirit Publishing, and then I don't know if I'm speaking about this correctly, but their like parent company or their like larger group is called Teacher Created Materials.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
I believe they publish like books, but also educational materials and curriculum packages and that kind of thing.
And the title is or each one's Molly's Great Discovery.
It's Everyday Adventures with Molly and Dyslexia is the series title, but it's Molly's Great Discovery, Molly Tells the World, and Molly Finds a Way.
I love that. The books are adorable. You guys have to see them. The illustrations are amazing. You have done a fabulous job, and I feel like this is such a great way for young kids to really sort of come to accept their disability and see that everybody else has got something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all dealing with something, and it's okay to advocate for yourself and to let it out. It just makes you unique in who you are.
Yeah, and one of the like supplementary workshops that I'll do with kids is I'll have them draw what they think that their learning disability or difference would be, and if they don't have a disability, it can be anything.
Right.
You know, whatever they feel different about, I want them to draw that as a character and imagine that for themselves.
I love that. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day today. It is so lovely to meet you, and I'm so excited about these books. I'll make sure that we have a link to those in our show notes in case anyone wants to take a peek at them. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, everybody. I am back with Gavin Esty from Dean College. So we've got another college we're going to talk about today. Thank you for being here today, Gavin.
Thank you for having me.
So first, can you tell us a little bit about Dean College? Where is it? Give me some info.
Absolutely. So Dean College was founded in 1865. We're located in Franklin, Massachusetts, one of the safest towns in the country,
Really?
which is a big selling factor for a lot of families. We're about an hour south of Boston and about a half hour north of Providence. And for any Patriots fans out there, we're about 15 minutes down the road from Patriots Place in Gillette Stadium.
Who knew that?
So really great location. We're close to everything without being in anything. We have a train station commuter rail right within a stone's throw from campus, which is wonderful. Students take it into Boston all the time, which is really great.
How big is this school?
So we're about 1,200 students, pretty small campus, but it's a pretty lively campus as well. We're really integrated right into the community. You have to cross the streets multiple times to get into the community. We have people that walk their dogs on campus, and
Oh, wow.
we really try to bring the local community into campus and really just connect with whether they're attending our theater productions, dance performances, or holding events on campus.
So what makes your school special? Like, tell us about why you're here.
So we're a small private liberal arts college, but we're here at LDA because we have our arts learning community, which is our learning our program for neurodiverse student population. Students have to apply to be a part of our arts learning community, so submitting their documentation, their neuropsych, IEP 504, and then actually go through a small interview, whether it's in person if you're local or virtual. Although we obviously would love to see you on campus and for you to visit, but we are going into, I believe, our 24th year. So we've been around a long time. We're about 200 students, which is about a sixth of the student population on campus. And we really focus on supporting students and being the highest tier of academic support. So specialized advising, one-on-one academic coaching that really focuses on time management, executive function, organization skills, specialized classes focusing around English, math, sciences, the courses that all students struggle with, to give them those extra supports to really help them make sure that they're meeting the rigors of college. So it's not that they're doing anything separate from all the other, a general English class, but it's a smaller class size, so about 17 students.
Wow.
And they really focus on chunking the assignments. So if in an English class, if an essay in a regular class is due in a month, good luck, it's due in a month. But in an art specific section, it'd be, okay, it's due in a month, but for class on Thursday, you need to have your intro paragraph done. And then the following Tuesday, your next two paragraphs are done.
That's huge.
So breaking it down to those smaller pieces. So, it's stepping stones each way. And then those instructors typically will take, after those first 2 weeks, they'll cancel class for that week and meet with each student individually to edit their papers and meet with them to discuss the things, give suggestions, so that those students are then meeting with, turning in a second, third, fourth draft of a paper using our writing center as well. So we have a lot of great resources, both fee-based and free services to really help students be successful.
So outside of the arts program, which is more for your neurodiverse, and it sounds like it's got some amazing supports, I know you also have like a social support.
So our Engage program. So we have our Engage program, which is our social pragmatic program that really helps students that may be high functioning autism or may self-identify as someone who needs some supports with that in the social sector.
So they don't need like an official diagnosis necessarily?
No, not necessarily.
Great.
But really helps with, students that, struggle with social interactions on, friendships, relationships, interactions in society, and just kind of handling themselves in environments. So they meet every week with our engaged program staff and really kind of have those sessions to really work on that. They also have 1 hour of academic coaching, which is a part of that program.
Wow.
That is also fee-based as well. And then we'll have a lot of students that will bundle the ARCH and the engaged programs together.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is your admission process like? Is there a cutoff date? Kind of what does that look like?
Yeah, so obviously we are rolling admissions. However, we would love for students to apply sooner.
Sure.
We do our early enrollment, our decision, an early decision, and then our regular decision. But students, if they're interested in applying to college, can either do the Dean of College application or the Common App. Make your lives easy. Use the Common App. It makes your life easy, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're interested in our arts learning community, there's about 2/3 of the way down. There's a little box that says, if you're interested in the arts learning community, check this box, and it pops open another window. Fill out a few questions that submits, and that triggers that to where then you have to kind of submit your documentation, everything, and schedule that interview. I would just remind families to make sure they go back, close that window once they're done, and go back and finish the rest of the application.
And so the you can be accepted to the school, and then the arch learning community is a separate process, so to speak.
Well, so actually, if students apply to the arts learning community, they'll get a unified acceptance
nice.
at the same time.
Okay.
So we communicate with admissions whether we think a student's a good fit for arch or not based on if they apply. Sometimes we think it's a great fit. Sometimes we might say, they check this box, but they're not a good fit because they don't need this level of academic support.
Right.
Or, we certainly have had times where students they don't read and they check every box possible. And then they're like, well, I didn't know what it was. I just figured I had to check every box because I check every box.
Right. So just not paying attention.
Yeah. We want to make sure students are in it for the right reasons and have that. And once again, with the arts learning community, students have to have at least one diagnosed learning difference to be a part of the program. But we obviously want students to be successful. And we also have, based on feedback we got from students and families, we've also instituted a opt-in living learning community in one of our first year residence halls for students that are part of the Arch and Engage program. So they do specialized programming in there too, and to really help kind of build that community feel.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, what I'll do is I will include links to the school, but also to the Arch Learning and the Pragmatic Social. That is fabulous. If people want some more information, they can poke around there, and I'll make sure I include your information.
Wonderful.
But thank you for sharing that with us. We appreciate
I'm happy
it.
to. Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, everybody, we are back. And for our last little session of the day, I've got my favorite people from the Fusion Academy, which you guys have heard us talk about. We've interviewed Nicole before, but today we have Nicole and Taina, and they're going to just give us an update on what's new and exciting with Fusion. So thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. I always love having you guys.
Yes.
So first, if you'll just give everybody who hasn't already heard, just a brief, what's your quick elevator pitch about Fusion?
Fusion Academy. We are a private accredited middle and high school. We teach class 6 through 12, one-on-one, and we have, then I'll get into the other logistics. But yes, we're known for our classes being taught one-on-one.
And you have brick and mortar and
online, Fusion Global.
Perfect.
Yes,
okay, so tell me a little bit about what's been going on at Fusion and what's new and exciting.
Well, in the global world, Nicole.
Great to be back, Laurie. So Fusion Academy is really excited to be launching our ELL, English Language Learner programs.
Ooh.
Yeah, coming to you live August 1st.
Yay.
So we'll have advanced 1 and 2 and intermediate 1 and 2. So this is something brand new for us and will allow us to kind of fill that ELL, ESL space. And then we also are really excited to be doing an ongoing effort to make Fusion Academy more accessible for more families. So a big part of that is that we are now proud to be ESA, EFA eligible in 8 states.
Seriously?
Yeah. Arizona, Arkansas, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Tennessee, Utah, West Virginia, and Florida. And Florida is the only one that's in-person only. The others we can use both for our virtual academy and our brick and mortar campuses.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're so excited about it. And we're going to continue to try and get that in more and more states, but these are the 8 that we're live in today.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that is exciting.
Yes, and speaking of Florida, I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Welcome.
Boca campus, and so I'm happy to be here as well. And on the brick and mortar side, for the summer, we're going to be offering the enrichment, the remediation, and the advancement for students that are interested in that. So we offer that for those courses, and then we are opening an 84th campus in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Carolina.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yes. So that's our next campus to be open. So we're really excited
84.
about that too. Yeah, we're up to 84.
That's crazy. So quick question
Yeah.
that I get asked a lot is if we have a student who's in high school and has failed algebra, let's just use that as an example. So they're down in algebra credit. Can they come take that with you like over the summer, or can they take that with you outside of school? And will that count usually as a credit? Is that transferable?
It is. So they can take it with us over the summer. That's part of the remediation that I just mentioned. But they can also take us with us during the school year as well, and then we would send the credit back to their school.
And the reason that I love you guys so much, it's down to that one-on-one. It's because so many of the kids that we work with need that individualized instruction and that differentiated instruction. And you don't get that in a large group, right? But one-on-one, it's so easy to pivot as you see a child struggling, or if they really understand something and you don't need to spend hours on it, you can just move on. It's just to have that one-on-one and that immediate feedback is so crucial to the neurodiverse community. So that's
it is. And I taught at Fusion before I started doing outreach and admissions. Yeah. So I saw the light bulbs go off in the classroom. So I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. When you could tell, like you could look at a student like, is everything okay? Like, are you grasping anything that I'm saying? And they're like, actually, no, I'm having a bad day. And we're like, all right, let's put everything aside. Let's talk about your bad day and get it out the way. And then we have team success chats with our other staffs, other teachers. So if I had a student at 8:30 in the morning, I'm like, listen, Sam is not well, dog passed away or something like that. You know what I mean? I can pass that on to his future teachers so the teachers know like, okay, like he's not having a bad day and let's not, let's be more understanding of that. So
I love that. That personalization
that one-on-one,
is key.
Yeah. So when we say the school that changes everything, it's really the school that changes everything because we can change everything from when you come in and we could feel the energy. But then we could also advance and, increase rigor. And
that's also what I love too, because some of these kids may really struggle in math, but they may be able to write a paper like nobody's business.
Exactly.
They don't need that to be remediated. They need that to be pushed, and they need to feel that success and feel good about themselves. So
we do a lot of fun stuff. Anything I forgot, Nicole?
I think you nailed it, my girl.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you
for the
having
update.
us.
I will put links to both the Brick and Mortar and the Fusion Global in our show notes.
Appreciate
so anyone that wants to visit. And if you guys have specific questions, you can always reach out to letstalklearningdisabilities@gmail.com, and I will forward those on to the ladies if you guys need to reach them.
Awesome.
So thank you, guys.
You're great, Laurie.
Thank you guys for being here today.
Yes.
We've had a great time at LDA. We will see you back for our next episode.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us today. In our show notes, you can find information about today's talk, as well as links to resources and other episodes. If you have questions about today's talk, have ideas for future episodes, or just want to stay connected, you can contact us through Diagnostic Learning Services on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So, let's keep talking learning disabilities. This podcast is sponsored by eDiagnostic Learning. You can find more information at www.ediagnosticlearning.com.